Story time, story time, story time. I call this one Side Tooth Tammy. Listen, I'm gonna give y'all a hint up front. Do not date somebody you live in the same neighborhood with. Do not date somebody that goes to your favorite bar. And absolutely, under no circumstances, date somebody who works at your job. It will always end badly. But back to the story. I throw a lot of events. This happened back in the day. I threw this big event and I met this girl at the event. Really didn't get to talk to her, sort of saw her. She saw me, it was a lot going on. I really never got to give her my phone number or really connect. Fast forward, like I was looking for a part-time job at the time. And so I went into this, not gonna say the name of the company, but I went into this company and applied for a part-time job. Pretty flexible hours. So I really thought it was something I could do. It was a little bit of remote work. So I was like, cool, this won't get in the way of all the other stuff I got going on. So sure as shiggity, when I go in to apply, there's the girl that was at my event. And she's like, oh, wow, I really had a good time, da-da-da-da-da, you know what I'm saying? She was like, you disappeared on me, like, towards the end of the night. And I was like, well, a lot was going on, I had to handle a few things, but I'm here now. I knew right then and there, I shouldn't have got her phone number. I shouldn't have done anything. You do not talk to somebody you work with, right? This is rule number one in the handbook. We exchange numbers. She gives me the job, of course. I'm probably working there for about 2 or 3 weeks. We have been texting back and forth or whatever, but we was like, hey, let's hook up, go grab something to eat or something like that. And I'm like, cool, let's do it. We go out, we get something to eat, great conversation, everything's cool. This is one thing I'm gonna have to say right now. I think when people are listening to me do these stories, sometimes they think like, oh my gosh, where is he finding all these weird and strange people? That's not the case, because what it is, it's a matter of perspective. What you think is weird and strange is absolutely normal to another person. A lot of these people, and even me myself, I don't even want to be seen as somebody standing on a soapbox pulling down at somebody. I have my own imperfections and things I work with and deal with, so I'm not perfect. But when I'm telling these stories, I'm telling you, as they happen, and this is just what happened to me. So I don't want people to think like, oh my gosh, like I'm out here seeking bad dates. Who would do that? And I say that to say, like, people literally are weird. And it's normal to them because that's their life and that's the life they've led. And, I didn't really get that until I was watching TV. This is probably like about 8 or 9 years ago. And I was watching one of those channels where they do those shows on people who do the weirdest things. And like, I saw a girl that I went to high school with, and she ate cornstarch all day long. Like, that was her thing. Cornstarch, everything. And I'm just like, why would a person sit around and eat gallons of cornstarch? But then again, it's like, that's normal to them. So I say all that to say is, hey, what we be thinking is strange, be normal to other people. Who are we to judge? But back to the story. So we go out, get some food, everything going slick. She's like, hey, I stay right around the corner. You know what I'm saying? Let's get out of here. Da-da-da-da-da. We go back to her place. Listen, I'm just going to skip to the R-rated version. Sis had a particular set of skills. She was probably the best head doctor that exists in the United States. Like, sis had a particular set of skills. I'll say it again. Like, she wiped me out. And I was just like, yeah, what you expect me to do after you did that? I ain't got no more. All my emotional gone. You took it all. She laughs or whatever. We're like, we'll hook up again, tomorrow or whatever. I leave. She calls me, hey, are we still gonna hook up tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, that's great. We can do that. Boom. So she comes to my place. Everything started getting a little hot and heavy. She's going down there to, do the job again. And I'm like, hey, look, when you're down there, save some so, we can continue and not wrap it up so quickly because you sucked the life out of me last time and I had nothing left. She laughs, all right? So she's down there going ham on the mic, right? And she's like, you trust me? And I was like, I don't even know you. Why would you even say that? This is a weird time to ask for trust. Hand on the mic and she, doing the whole, gobble, gobble 6,000, right? Then all of a sudden I feel like a little tinkle near my butt. And I'm like, listen, I don't play butt stuff. Okay. Like, I know it's some dudes out here who be on that, but me, if you get close to my butt, it's going to be a problem, right? And so I just reacted in that moment. And you know what I'm saying? So I went back and kicked her in the mouth. And it was like, oh, like it looked, she like flipped over on the side and I'm like, what the fuck is you doing? And she's like, what do you mean? Why'd you kick me? I'm like, what was you doing? Like, don't play around with my butt. Like, I don't play butt stuff. Like, what is going on with you right now? So she's like, oh, I was just about to, do something freaky and da-da-da-da-da. And I thought we could turn it up. Turn it up, nigga. We ain't even turning it. I don't even know you all. Like, girl, like, chill. What are you thinking? And she comes up and she got like blood in her mouth and she get in her mouth and she wiggled and that side tooth come out. I'm like, I'm going to jail. I'm gonna kick this chick in the mouth, and now she done lost a tooth. Like, listen, dude, I reacted. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing like when them people be doing your feet and they get on the bottom of your feet and start tickling. I be telling that little Chinese girl, I'm like, look, chill, you gonna get kicked. So why did she go down there playing with trying to get my butt? And I'm like, don't play with my butt. You know what I'm saying? And I just reacted and I kicked her and the tooth came out and she had blood. So I went and got her a rag. And, she was just like, I'm sorry. And at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm thinking, she about to, I done kicked her tooth out. I'm like, damn. So she bleeding, she holding the rag, and I'm like, damn, this is crazy. I ain't even hit yet. Like you know what I'm saying? Like we ain't even did nothing yet. So I'm like, man, she too freaky. She that. And I'm like, how do I get out of this situation? So we start talking and you know what I'm saying? She eventually goes home. So I'm like, hey, why don't you just go there, go to the dentist, see if they can put it back? You know what I'm saying? Da. I happened to, one of my days of reporting to this job was the next day. So I went in there the next day. She wasn't there, right? So I text her. She didn't text me back. So about another day went by and she's like, hey, I'm sorry, I just had to take a couple of days off. I had a lot going on. The dentist wasn't able to put the tooth back, da. And I'm looking at getting like a bridge or something like that to cover it up or whatever. Because when I smile big or whatever, you can see like I'm missing that tooth. And so I felt bad. Like I felt real bad. And I was like, man, well, let me take you out to dinner. Let me, let me do something. So I took her out to eat, trying to smooth over the situation or whatnot. Everything was going cool, right? We get back to my place. And so, she feeling good, she's kind of over the tooth thing. And so she want to get active, right? And so she gets, she takes her clothes and she leans back. And so I go to put on the condom. I go to put the condom on and she's like, why are you doing that? Because that's what you're supposed to do. So I'm putting on the condom and she's like, you don't need to wear a condom. I had a hysterectomy. I can't get pregnant. And I was like, that's not the only reason you wear a condom. And so she's like, oh, okay. And so I'm taking the condom, putting the condom on, pulling it up, and then I open up another pack because I felt like I needed to double bag it. But when I double bagged it and she saw it, instantaneously got offended. Like, she's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm putting on the condom. And she's like, you already put on the condom. And I'm like, well, I just put on another one. And she's like, and I'm trying to like push her, back leg, lean back leg, you know what I'm saying? She's like, whoa, hold on. You think I'm nasty? And I'm like, no, I'm just, double bagging it. And she's like, why would you double bag it? I can't get pregnant and I'm not nasty. What do you think that's going on? And I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, there's no cleaning this up, Tom. You are absolutely caught. There's no way out of this one. And I was just like, in that moment, I was just like, dang, why did I double bag it in front of her? I don't even know why I did that. And so she got pissed. Like she turned the lights on. She was just like, hey, we need to have a talk because obviously you think I'm something I'm not and this, and the third. And so when she, yelling and talking to me at the same time, like you could see the missing tooth in her mouth. And I'm just like, and listen, it's a lot of people missing a side tooth. It's like a whole conspiracy in the United States of all these people. It's an epidemic of side tooth missing. But in this particular situation, I was the cause of the side tooth missing. So I felt a little obligated to listen. But at the same time, I just felt like she was super duper freaky. And I just felt like I needed to double bag it. I don't know why I did it, but I did it. She got mad, put her clothes on, she left. So I had to go back to that job the next day. So when I got back to the job the next day, it just was a weird vibe in the office, like weird vibe. Like, and then the director like brought me into the office and he was just like, hey, we're thinking about sending you to this other location. And I was like, well, I'm not interested in working. This is like a part-time job. Like, so I'm not interested in driving 45 minutes anywhere. So he's like, well, I don't think this is the right fit for you here. And I'm like, man, old girl done got me fired. And I'm like, this is crazy. So I looked around, she wasn't there, texted her phone, she ain't answer. So I just told the dude, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and quit because I'm not driving 45 minutes. This is a part-time job, literally. So I quit, didn't hear from her again. And I believe she came to one of my events, like maybe like 2 years later, but she didn't know it was my event. As soon as she saw me, she made a beeline and left. And she still hadn't replaced the side tooth. But hey, That's just another one of my crazy, crazy dating experiences. But yo, text my phone 216-284-3444 and hit me up on YouTube. Trying to grow that channel. We have 3,000 right now. I'm trying to get to 5,000. Hey, like, follow, share, comment. I really appreciate everything, and I'll see you in the next one.